In this video, you will learn the different causes of brown water and how to get rid of your brown water. The most common issue being iron. Knowing why your well water is brown is essential to understand how to get rid of brown well water. So let's explain. Your aquifer is the source of your well water. It acts as a barrier to filter out contaminants that have got into the water. Aquifers work by letting rainwater seep through the soil, which passes downwards. The water then meets a layer of sediment such as gravel, which filters out contaminants. After passing through the rocks, it reaches the aquifer's water storage. The bottom of the aquifer is impermeable rock, which prevents water from going down further. Your well water comes straight from the aquifer, so it should be clear water with no contamination. So what if it is contaminated? Well, there are a few reasons that might happen. A common problem of brown well water is iron ore and maybe iron bacteria. However, iron is a mineral that we all need in our diet. Therefore, there is nothing wrong with drinking water containing iron ore or iron bacteria. Plants, seeds, bark, wood, leaves, and fruit skins typically contain tannins. When it rains, and there's any prior on the ground, the water will run through them, taking tannins with it. These tannins then find their way into your aquifer, which turns your well water brown. Dissolved solids are called silt. These can find their way to your well water. Depending on the composition of the deposit, this could be turning your well water brown. Rust is a common cause of brown water but sometimes gets confused with iron, however. It's not the well water causing the issue when it comes to rust. Get rid of brown well water by removing iron. If you find that iron ore is the culprit, then the most common way to make iron disappear is to use a water softener system. A water softener system works by cleaning the magnesium and calcium through ion exchange. This is typically for hard water increased in pH hardness. However, a water softener system will remove iron from the water too. Lastly, a water softener is an economical solution. Get rid of brown well water by removing tannins. First, you need to make sure it is tannins causing the brown water because effective removal can be costly. It's pretty simple to test if tannins are the problem. Rake the leaves outside your house and any other plant-based debris. Wait around a week, and see if the well water is still brown. If it has cleared up, then tannins are the problem. To remove tannins, it's very tricky, and there is no guaranteed solution. However, the first thing to try is to keep raking your leaves and plant debris outside your house. If you can keep up and keep the water clear, then perfect. However, some tannins will still find their way into the aquifer. To thoroughly remove tannins, you will need to invest in an ion exchange system, reverse osmosis system, or an oxidation system. You will also require someone to do the plumbing. Get rid of brown well water by removing silt. Because silt sinks to the bottom of the water. The cause of it being in your water could be that the water table has lowered and your pump is now too low. If your pump is too low, it will be sucking up the sediment resting at the bottom of your well water. You can also get a filtration water system with well drilling if the pump is not the cause to filter out any sediments that the pump may have sucked up. This will leave your house with clear water. Get rid of brown well water by removing rust. To get rid of rust, it's pretty simple, but it sometimes gets confused with iron. You need first to identify which pipes contain the rust, simply by seeing which taps are releasing brown water and then following the lines. Once you have found the pipes that contain rust, you need to replace them, preferably by getting a plumber in to do the job. After replacing the pipes, you should have clear water again. A water heater could also be the culprit if there is rust in it. If it's just the hot tap that produces hot brown water, then your water heater is most likely the culprit as the hot water comes straight from the water heater.